All right, so we're 3 p.m. We're still April 2nd, 2025. I'm sucking on the remnants of, I threw it all out, but I threw the box out, but I ate all the remainder Slim Fast. They're like individually wrapped Reese's Pieces, no, Reese's peanut butter cups type thing. So I just had that. I'm off to the bank to pick up money because I forgot to. If you check the video prior to this one, and I had deposited pay in there. But the workout went well. I cut it short because I was waiting for the flat bench to do some triceps, and then the weight wasn't there, and I'm like, this is time to leave. Don't push it. I already did it was good. I did upright rows, which I pushed my limit, and some pertinent stretches that helped. The soleus stretch, because that's where my impingement is with a weight. I haven't done that in a while because I did the easy part like against the wall. So coming back to that feels good. So I rotate a few different options for each problem that I have, And I did trying to remember. With the cardio, I did it on the elliptical because I didn't want to push it. Because already today was one of those days, and I work tomorrow, so did my Cobra stretch, which was coming along nicely. My neck and my levator scapula and my rotator cuff. My neck moves freer. Let's say about 5%, 4 or 5% freer since I've been putting more effort into it and doing it with my arm behind my back, like really focusing on that small muscle as opposed to what I used to do is just PNF stretches, like pushing and try. It didn't work. It's the levator scapula, that small muscle, and I've been focusing on that, and things have been going well with that. So good. Anyways, it cracks more, so that's good too. So there's, getting through all that. What else did I do? Cobra. My hamstrings are dead, so I couldn't do anything for that because of the Romanian deadlifts yesterday. I forget, it's all written down. Stayed an hour and a half only. That's fine. So I need to get some greens too. So I'm gonna go to the bank. Not the original one. I'm gonna go to the second one that's close to another grocery store so I can get some greens too. And take care of what I need to do for tomorrow. Like creating a bill for tomorrow, etc. Anyways, during the session, when I first started teaching CPR classes, I was like, I reserved a couple of URLs for domain names, and then I let them expire after a year because I was like, I have no idea how to proceed from this because my goal was to teach CPR, have a company and teach CPR. Well, first start off solo, and then if it goes well, create the company and incorporate it at gyms to really target trainers and gyms and the like. I had started with a couple of calls. One of them was to the university gym. Another was to the other university gym, actually. And yeah, I tried cold calling, and I got in contact with the people, sent my resume and all that stuff, and nothing. I think I followed up, but I'm like, nah, fam, this isn't working. And then I do have a page on my website, which I have to update my website because they're changing their online thing, and I had to go through an FTP server. I had contacted them because on the phone, the formatting is a website as opposed to format for the iPhone, like an app type thing, or just formatted. And I haven't had time to focus on that because I don't focus on that a lot. I go into bursts, but I have to keep paying it. It's about almost $400 a year. So I have to upkeep that, And I'm thinking, how am I going to do it? Because it's been a while since that idea came to my head. Because for the longest, I was like, I don't know what to do. And now that it came back to me, and I'm like, okay. Probably because this guy who'd been talking to me about going to bars and stuff, like he gets his own clients. I'm like, oh, does he actually? I don't know. And that kind of impregnated the thought in my head again, which is kind of how it worked before getting into CPR. I wanted to do it for like years since someone told me about it. And even before that, since I knew what it was about, because I had taken CPR for so long, and I knew someone who was in aquatics, and I was in aquatics when I was younger, and he branched out into teaching CPR, and he kept, they became an ambulance, paramedic, ambulance, whatever, and now he's teaching classes and stuff like that. So he went that route, and the owner of my present employer, the one I do most of the work for, went that route too. He ended up being a teacher, a coach for lifeguards and stuff like that whole route. That could have been me, but it wasn't me. That was, I guess, a major rejection. But I replaced it with, training and stuff like that. So, I don't know. So now it's like I'm going that route, but I don't know where to go. You know what I mean? But it seems like there's not a lot of people in it because I'm getting work. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking maybe I need to do... people do their, an Instagram and all that stuff. I don't think I'm investing into that. I'm not going to get the another domain website name. I'm just going to use the one I have, fitnessdavid.com/CPR. Start with that. If there's no, direct competition. Because I know when I teach, there's people, they just kind of send them to wherever. So if I'm on top of mind, that's better. I know people do, they pay for the Google search, SEO, and I could get into that too, because I think my former employer does that, and my present employer does that, but it's expensive. So I'm thinking to get into that, I'd have to save money from teaching classes, but I want to send a postcard, contact the gym I'm going to has a lot of branches, and I'm like, if I could be associated with them, who knows, and just talk to them and see what can be done. And so I got the urge to retry. That's what I'm saying, because it's very demotivating when it doesn't work. And what happens to me is I'll give something up, I'll ignore it, and then it kind of comes back in one way or another, something that I like to do and I'm good at, which is what I'm doing now, but in the specialty, and if everything lines up, that's better. Gyms and trainers are obliged to have a CPR. you know? So that's where I'm at right now. So what I also, well, it wouldn't have to be big, you know, just a little side hustle, you know what I mean? To kind of get into it. And right now there's, my second choice was going into teaching with kids, because there's two people who started little companies with that. One who was trying to sell it, I heard. But so that's a market also that's open, because I don't know, I think no one wants to do that. That's difficult. And of course, branching out from there, you know, as everyone in CPR eventually, if they're there for 25 years, have their own office, you know, like my master instructor has one, you know what I mean? That's the next branch. And for me, it would be that, and have a gym, a studio there. So then I could target, and I would have a mailing list of trainers, you know what I mean? And gyms. And, you know, offer courses towards them, or personal training, or whatever. Like, that's how I kind of see it, to integrate both, you know? So basically, the CPR courses business would subsidize the little gym studio, because I had a gym and I lost a lot of money, which is part of why I'm in my situation, going through it, and my financial difficulties, and realizing a lot of my financial difficulties is also because of my personality problems, dealing with certain things. And anyways, at any rate, it feels good to have an idea that I see future in, because in all honesty, I don't see much of it, you know, whereas I used to see a lot of it. And the more and more you get rejected, and the more and more you're starting from zero, it's like, also the more and more everything's saturated, it's hard to know where to turn. But people don't want to teach CPR, or they do it as a sideline. So now the ideas are coming, so it's good I'm documenting them, and I'll refer to this video in the future for everything. So like, to find people, it's like, that's the way people found me. They go on the portal of one of the associations, and they contact saying they need people, or they go through the master instructor of the other association. So there's that. And then I could also, because I've been looking into doing community auto instead of getting a car, incorporate that in my prices if I want to go down to gyms out in the boonies where there's a demand too. So there's that option also, and just negotiate that into prices, you know, my price scale. So I'm at another branch of the same bank. Now I'm gonna go down there where the construction is, because that's right past it. I don't know if you could see it. Right there where it says Metro in red light. Well, the bus is hiding it, but right there, that red writing on that beige tan, light tan building, that's the grocery store. So that's where I'm going to get greens, and then right across the street is where the actual metro or subway is. So another idea, they give you the option to withdraw with 20s. So I'm like, why am I withdrawing with 50s? I could do some 20s so that I don't have problems coming short of 20s for when I need a bus pass and all the areas that don't accept 100s and stuff like that. Just it takes a lot of space, right? So there's that. coming up with the solutions. Oh yeah, and what I noticed also, this bank, BMO, they have it all over the States, but it stands for Bank of Montreal. It's very simple. It's like they have a gym here. You know those gym for like $10 a month gyms or whatever. Like that's where I go. But that concept has been around for about almost a decade, or just about getting there. But this is also kind of gives that impression, because they do a lot of online advertising. I get them all over before I joined it, before my situation happening, right? And you go in, it's just a simple room. It looks very plain, and I'm like, the gym's like that, and that's what you gotta do. It's gotta be very plain, so that you could offer other things, right? And I'm thinking, CPR is known for that, known for like plain. All right, I guess because of this brainstorming, my mood is better, so I'm adding these. These are on special. These are on special. Both of them are 2 for $5, and I got pizza. Well, it's just like a tomato pizza, but I'm going to put greens on it. So, yay for good mood. Nothing's on special, but $6.99 is okay. I'm gonna try arugula, because there's spinach and the spring mix, which I usually get, but I don't get arugula too much. There's also the San Marino mix, which I don't know what that is. Yeah. So now I know tomorrow my day is going to be somewhat long, because there's about 7 people in the afternoon class. So the day after, I teach at the hospital, one that's far away, but it's at noon. So I know I have to leave my place at 10:30 to get there for, let's say, 11:30, and to teach for 12 to 3. So I'm probably going to be leaving tomorrow later, so then I'll probably make sure I get to bed early, but I won't have to wake up at 3. But tomorrow I will, but not the day after. However, if I decide to, or if I have too much caffeine or whatever, let's say I decide to wake up at 3 to do some more gym beforehand, that's another option. So gotta think of the options, right? So yeah, I'm not gonna keep going through the aisles. I wanted to, but there's no point. I got what I got. That's it, you know. But I then thought about, it's a good thing to have miso every day. They don't have miso here, but that's what I was incorporating. But I'm not in Chinatown. I'm not going to do that. And then also blueberries every day. So every day is kind of a stretch for all these things, because I'm never at the same place all the time. But also greens and tomatoes every day. So I have to at least have it a few times. Yeah, but I'm not going to get it here. I'm not going to get it. I got what I got. All right, it's 4:02, I think. Anyways, I'm back home. I got the list for tomorrow, so I got to create the bill. I just realized, it's a good thing I'm making this video, because I'm going to consult it later for all the information. One of the main gyms that was the biggest gym here, they deal with the company that are going to sponsor me. Well, that gave me a few contracts recently, but are going to be sponsoring me for teaching, taking my first responder course, and then teaching the class appropriate to that, which I have to look into tomorrow to teach, to get myself hooked up with that. The thing with getting hooked up with that is that the company that offers it, my present employer offers it, but it's too far. I can't get there. So I have to go to one that's closer. It's the only other competition. It's the only other company. And they're known for canceling and then they don't call back and it's complicated. So I have to keep up on that, especially if I'm going to pay cash or whatever. Um, yeah, so there's one setback. But because he mentioned it when I had a meeting with him, and he didn't know where they were or whatever. So I guess he doesn't take care of it, but it's one of their clients. So I guess the clients stay there long. You see this? This is from the sunscreen. I gotta scrub that. Yeah. So it's 3:43 p.m. Thursday the 3rd of April 2024. I taught. It went well, but we finished it early because everyone was tired. And all right, thanks. And there weren't that many people at the end, but it was fun. But I had to stay like an hour and a half later because I had all the paperwork to do. And you know, I knew my certification was expiring because I noted that, but then I got an email and I'm like, okay, I gotta hustle because I only have 6 months left. So the person who's been helping me giving me classes, she gave me another contract, but she helped me find the class and I'm gonna put it into my schedule, you know? So I'm like, wow, she helped. It's rare to help people help, you know? So that's good. So I'm making an effort. I even called about first responder. It was a little weird, but I'm gonna just keep an eye on that. And the maximum date to register for that, which is in July, is the Friday before the class. So a lot of things, again, to keep track of. Okay. And the blueberries aren't on special, but the raspberries are, so I'm gonna take that. I feel like having that. I'll take 2. So this is like on the way. It's like I went to the bank that's here, took out some more money so the government doesn't take it. Yeah, I feel like I got things together today. I'm actually gonna wash my hair again because it's getting hot. So it's like something's coming together, you know? All this structure, but my month of April is just ridiculous, you know? But also, I'm good. How are you? How are you? Okay, I'm good. No worries, no worries. So yeah, it's weird. I want to make sure I keep my certification. I don't know, it's weird because like it either goes like this or it's nothing, you know what I mean? So I got to be grateful for that. So that means tomorrow I'm going to the gym. I know I teach, which they got the secretary got the address wrong, so I made a note of that. I don't know, I just feel I'm able to keep on track of things. I don't know. The fact that I got to go out and teach where I originally taught when I first got this job was fun. But the reason that I have to recertify so quickly is because when I signed up in 2022, it was a year before I redid it with another organization, the one I'm working for, and then another year before actually getting the certificate because the person was like, no, your lesson plan isn't good. So that's why I was left with not much time. It's supposed to be every 3 years. But she found me something on May 17th and it's only $140, so I'm doing it. So like really, really booking everything and honing in on everything, and it's important. So yeah, let me concentrate. I got some raspberries. I'm gonna get some pita bread, and that should be it. Or maybe some yogurt. Yeah. Oh, here we go. April 4th. 4:08 a.m. So I'm off to the gym. I only got about 5 hours sleep, but I'm doing it. So the goal is to not push it far today. Light cardio and a little bit of one or two muscles. So I kind of like doing a class. I'm teaching at noon, but I have to leave my place around 10:30. Hopefully I could take a nap, or at least decompress. And I have a few things I want to do. Clean the kitchen countertop, scan the red book. I realize I'm not transferring the pay that I'm getting or that I got into the red book. So I'm like, okay. I just made a note in Google that at least I should, after scanning, I'm gonna collect the statements from the bank account. Well, I should do that before scanning, right? But anyways, whatever. I could always readjust it. Yeah. And then prepare my stuff and cook. So there's a lot of things to do. We'll see how it goes. But I kind of like the just one class, even though it takes me a while to get there, but it's because then I can come train at the gym in the morning, which I miss. So, whoa, there's a e-bike or e-scooter or whatever. So it's 5:34, so I did an hour. Well, I was there an hour. Just to do it, because I realized after the first exercise, my shoulder wasn't stable, so I was like, nah, this isn't gonna work out, so cut my losses. I did a foam rolled my back a bit, tried a twisting stretch, a little relief, but yeah, cut my losses, go home, minoxidil the front of my hair first, it's like you see the inner workings of the subway up there. It almost looks like work of art. I don't know, you can't see inside because this camera doesn't go close, but whatever. Anyways, minoxidil the front of my hair. Clean the kitchen countertop. And eat what the leftover pancakes I have from a few days ago. And then take a nap and see where I can go from there. You know? So. It's still a win because I went, you know? I'm not down on myself for that. Because it's the consistency in the long run. So. Okay, I now see what the building is I see from my window. Like, this is the one I see from the other side, the short one. But this is the tall one. Okay, it's right next to it. Right next to a regular old building here. Oh no, wait a minute, there's another one here. Because I was just around the left side here. But then there's this one. This is what I see from my place. Yeah, the closer. That's what I saw from down the block from where I live. But then there's the big one. That's what I just saw too. Okay. Wow. A lot of construction. Yeah, see, so this is the front view of the smaller building, and then the big one is next to it, but behind. Can't see it from here. Weird. Oh my God, it's 11:42. I'm supposed to teach at noon. I found out this hospital, but it's a school. There's a school attached to it, and the secretary of my boss told me to go to the school, and like, anyways, it's complicated. And it's a good thing I left earlier. It takes me more than an hour. It takes me longer because there's not that many buses, so I have to wait, you know. But here I am. I'm trying to wait for someone to help me.